Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome to this video of Movie Make Money, so movie-themed plastic must make money too. Hollywood is a business that at this point is pretty much allergic to making money and good business decisions, but back in the day they had big, buff, sweaty action men and actually good and original ideas. And the world wasn't just filled with stupid live-action remakes and pointless sequels. But that really isn't me saying that they had nothing but good ideas, because my god, they definitely did not. Their corporate greed has led them to some pretty ridiculous merchandising and business decisions, which is exactly what we'll be looking at today. And the first one we're looking at is a product to promote Shrek. And I'm not talking about the castle and little figurines that they made to promote Shrek 2, because I had them when I was younger and they were sick. But no, I'm talking about the multiple types of Shrek ketchup. Fiona gets the typical red tomato flavored ketchup, but Shrek is obviously blasting green flavor. Everybody's favorite vegetable, green. I feel like there's just something very off-putting about putting green sauce all over my food. And the purple one seems even crazier. If purple liquid started leaking out of my burger, I'd think I was dying. Next up we have what is actually a pretty big legend, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you have already heard about this. It's the Atari 2600 E.T game that was so bad, so incredibly terrible that practically nobody bought it. And this was back with the Atari 2600 when games were like pretty new and people played stuff like Breakout for hours on end without getting bored. But they hated E.T.
What the hell is even that?
So Atari had thousands of these E.T. game cartridges that they literally just could not get rid of. So what do you think would be the most reasonable response to this situation? What do you think they would do with thousands of useless and worthless game cartridges? If you said anything other than burying them in a massive landfill in the middle of the New Mexican desert, you would be very silly. Very silly indeed. And that wasn't the only weird E.T. product that they made. Have you ever wanted to have your own light-up E.T. finger light? That is really ribbed for your, really wrinkly and realistic. Along the same lines as this, 30 years later, Warner Brothers released a full-sized, vibrating Nimbus 3000 broomstick from Harry Potter. And they really didn't understand why it was so popular with women, whilst I really don't think I need to explain why. Editing Morgan here, and I'm just here because I found a review for the Vibrating Nimbus 2000. This one comes from the reviewer, A Toy Enthusiast, from December 26th, 2001. So I guess it wasn't 30 years after the E.T. stuff after all. Keep the batteries out! This toy was #1 on my daughter's Christmas list. Oh, no. This is why the whole thing of it being vibrated is really weird, especially when a good bit of your fan base are just children. So what the heck? Although it has no educational value, I figured it would be good for imaginative play. It wasn't until after she opened her gift and started playing with it that I realized that the toy may offer a more than sensational experience. The broomstick has cute sound effects and vibrates when they put it between their legs to fly. Come on, what were the creators of this toy thinking? She'll keep playing with the Nimbus 2000, but with the batteries removed. That seems like a really awkward thing to discover about a toy that you just bought your child. But yeah, there's another stupid one. Back to the video. Now we'll look at some Star Wars stuff, a franchise that has made an ungodly amount of money, and I'm pretty sure most of that money is off of the back of one character. The character that everybody loved, that is both really dark but also really funny, Jar Jar Binks. But for some reason, a good amount of the merchandising for Jar Jar is based around his tongue. I never thought that his tongue was such a defining feature of his character. We've got the Jar Jar Binks sticky tongue toy, which I really don't understand who thought this was a good idea, but trust me, it could always get worse. Since now we have the Jar Jar Binks tongue lollipop sweet thing, where the only way to eat it is by French kissing the fuck out of Jar Jar. Which, come on, be honest with me, that's every child's dream. How could you possibly look at him and not be overtaken by an overwhelming desire to... I need to calm down. But I really do hate all of the detail that they went into for this. Like, why does his tongue have all of these realistic divots all throughout it? Did people really need to know what the exact textures of Jar Jar Binks' tongue feels like inside of their mouths? Yes. All jokes aside though, that is a horrific design. Billions of insert local currency here, and that's the best that they could come up with. But this is far from the only terrible merchandising decision done for the Star Wars franchise, because we also have a C-3PO tape dispenser, where of course you pull the tape from his crotch, because where else would it go? And I'm actually asking, where else would it go? It's almost as if making a tape dispenser out of a humanoid character is a terrible idea, and who is that obsessed with C-3PO? We also have some some fragrances, which I suppose is fair, because I mean, I've seen these little candles that are based off of different Star Wars locations, so you light them as you watch the film and it gives you more of an immersive experience. Cool idea. And I could see how they could do different scented perfumes based on different characters, but I must say that Slave Leia might be a bit too far. Could have just done normal Princess Leia, give it some really regal smells. But no, they had to go with when she was a sex slave for a giant mafia space slug. Okay, just a few more Star Wars ones. We've got the E.T dog costume, which honestly, it's a stupid idea, but I love it. Slap that costume on any dog for Halloween and you've automatically won. Darth Vader shower head, just look at it, it's perfect. I've always wanted to bathe in Darth Vader's tears. And the last Star Wars one is a very strange marketing decision. It's an R2-D2 aquarium, which although I actually think is pretty cool, it makes absolutely no sense. So now let's look at what I would say is pretty much the exact opposite of Star Wars. Well, depending on how you look at it. Garfield, the king of the cul-de-sac, who actually made a jazz album. Am I cool or what? Which is actually the most effective way of immediately draining all the coolness out of your body. But my favorite song on this album is actually a fight between Fat Is Where It's At and I Love It When I'm Naughty. Is there anything Garfield can't do? And while we're speaking about Garfield and it's completely off topic, I really don't understand why Chris Pratt is the new celebrity go-to guy for voice acting. We've got this big budget animated movie. We could either hire a very well-trained and talented voice actor who can actually do a voice and add to the character for the movie, or we could get Chris Pratt to play Chris Pratt for the entire movie. Horror movies! Everybody has a horror movie that they will always remember because of how much it terrified them to the point of being terrified. For me, that movie is Shaun of the Dead, which really isn't a horror movie, but when I first saw it when I was like 10, I had never seen any like gory movies, so suddenly seeing a guy get ripped open and ripped apart by a horde of zombies kind of scared me a little, and it actually triggered a 5-year-long huge fear of zombies that led me to setting up a full zombie apocalypse survival plan and reading America's full document about how they would respond to various different types of zombie apocalypses, which includes voodoo zombies and vegetarian zombies, which are crazy words to read in an official government document. But another horror movie that I loved was Nightmare on Elm Street. The idea of a dream demon is just so cool and lends itself to so many good merchandising opportunities. I say that without really thinking about it, because now I'm trying to think about what merchandise you could do, and there's not really that much. A Freddy Krueger nightlight? Nah, that's terrible. Their idea of a Freddy Fright squirter is much better. Yeah. A Freddy Fright squirter. Who thought that was a good idea? I really don't want Freddy Krueger, of all horror icons, to squirt all over me. Put in the comments which horror icon you'd rather be squirted on by. What the fuck am I on about? Now I just want to go over all of the random toys and action figures that I found, because there's quite a lot of them. Pretty much all of them being things that I would never have expected them to do. First up, Django Unchained dolls. The best way to promote a movie that's based around one of the darkest periods in human history is of course to make an action figure about a horrific psychotic slave master. Then we have a few that I really just don't see the point in, and you'll see why very quickly. We've got a Tomb Raider terracotta soldier, you know, the statues, which means that it doesn't move and you can't really do anything with it. Just like the Rocky Balboa statue toy, which I think makes even less sense, because you can't even pretend that it's come to life or anything. Sticking with Rocky, they actually also made a toy of the slab of meat that he punches to train with, and we've actually got quite a lot more, so I'm just going to say them all really quickly. We've got Hairspray dolls, Real World Neo, Sleeping Little Nicky, which... why not just do a normal one? Why does it have to be the bit of him sleeping on a park bench? The Birds Barbie, Penguin Commandos from that Batman movie, a Dune Sandworm, Frodo Baggins with some gross ass feet, the Human Torch ATV, and actually all of the superhero ATV toys are really stupid because it's the most transparent attempt at merchandising. Oh, a character that would never need an ATV? Let's give him an ATV then, because kids are stupid. Beach Spider-Man, German Mechanic, Bob the Goon, Chain Attack Ghost Rider, or slightly uncomfortable and disappointed Nicolas Cage, St. Patrick's Day Leatherface, Big Bite Fred, and George Sackle, who definitely isn't George Lucas. But that'll be all we look at today. I'm sure that there's loads more, so please just say in the comments if there's anything that you think I've missed. And thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, and it really does mean a lot to me. And when we do hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a live stream where every time I die in Elden Ring, I have to take a shot. So I might actually just die in real life. And if you do subscribe, then I will create a small toy of myself which immediately explodes as soon as anybody touches it. and that'll be $29.99. Have a great day.